Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Let's see if we get some people. Usually takes a second or two. There you are. Okay. Hello. Hello. Say hello in the chat. Oh, there's Shelby. Hello, Colleen. I'm going to message you about your stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? I don't know half the time. All my people are here. Amanda's here. Christina's here. Shelby's here. Okay, I just thought I'd pop in quick this morning and share some new things. And then I'm heading into the store. So we're going to get started. I will have a draw. You're looking at it here. We're going to talk about that at the end of the video. So keep that in mind. But we're going to get going because I want to show you all the fun things. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for that. Oh, Mom's here too. Everybody's here. It is a beautiful sunny morning. I heard that it's going to go to 8 degrees today. And not only that, it's going to feel like 8 degrees today. A lot of times it says, it's 3 degrees feels like -6. Well, that's not fun. But today it's supposed to be a high of 8 and feel like 8. And the sun is shining, which is even a bonus. So it's really going to feel like spring. I think those snowbanks are going to go down a little bit today. And you're going to definitely need your windshield washer fluid, and your cars are going to need a wash. So that's the drawback, but it's all good, right? This is the price we pay for the nice warm weather coming our way. I think the forecast for later this weekend and early next week, we're up into the double digits. I think one day it's going to be 15 degrees, which I can't remember the last time. Actually, I do remember one time my kids were still young. And it was a March break, and we had a lot of snow that year, and the kids were outside in t-shirts and their snow pants playing in the snow and stuff. So that was a pretty fun March break, but we don't see that very often. So I like when we get these little snippets of nice warm weather. It just means that we're shooting out the other side of winter, which is nice. And I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it went really fast. I know we started really early with snow. Like we had snow like at the beginning of December and it never really went away, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm super busy, but it just seemed to fly by. But that's good. Okay, so we're going to get going here. We're going to talk first of all about the buzz right now, and that is the new cranberry ink family and cardstock from Gina K. So we finally got our hands on this. It's been a bit of a struggle, I'm not going to lie. When Gina K first released it, we didn't get any advance warning as stores, and we were not allowed to pre-order at all. And it sold out so fast that we didn't even have a chance to put an order in. So that was really disappointing. And then she made the announcement that it was back in stock, and we jumped on it right away and put our order in. So we're really happy to say that we've got lots for now. But our list was very, very long of people that wanted this. So I think Shelby sent an email out to everybody that was on our notify list to get your orders in. And here it is. So, oops, I didn't bring the re-inkers over, but we've got those too. So there is cranberry cardstock. And then this is one of her ink families that has a light, a medium, and a dark gradient. And so here's your light cranberry, your medium cranberry, and your dark cranberry in full-size ink pads. And they also have the set available in ink cubes. You can't buy individual ink cubes. You have to buy the 3 colors. And then, of course, re-inkers. So I'm going to tell you again how important it is to pick up your re-inkers. We have a number of Pink Fresh customers that are scrambling right now because they invested in the Pink Fresh mini cubes. And as many companies do, they need to pivot. And so you're not guaranteed that these colors are going to be around forever. Concord and Ninth has just announced that they are discontinuing several colors in their line as well, but they're bringing out some new ones. So if you get your ink pads and ink cubes, but you don't get a refill, you could get stuck without one at some point. So, and not only that, you want to make sure you're keeping those ink pads hydrated. It's really difficult to revive a very dried out ink pad. So definitely make sure that you're giving your ink pads a drink from time to time. We're all guilty of not doing it. And I think that we look at refills like underwear and socks. We don't really want to buy them because it's not that exciting. So you tend to leave those things, till they have holes in them and they're all gray and tattered because it's just not fun buying them. So but it is really good for your ink pads and your ink cubes to keep them hydrated. So make sure you're picking up those re-inkers so that you don't miss out on them. And now I'm not saying that these are being discontinued. I'm not saying that at all, but it does happen. And then everyone scrambles and they're, emailing me 65 times saying, did you get them yet? Did you get them yet? Unfortunately, I cannot control how quickly things sell out with companies or how long they will restock something. So we have to stay on top of it ourselves as crafters and make sure you should be looking after your ink pads and ink cubes. So Debbie says, how often do you re-ink your ink pads? Well, so I don't think there's a rule per se, but you kind of get to know. The foam, the companies that have the foam ink pads, they tend to be very juicy, but I find they also lay down a lot of ink quickly. So if you're taking your ink pads and you're taking your pad and going directly to paper for techniques, so like, rubbing your ink pad on paper directly, that paper is going to absorb ink quickly. So you might have to re-ink your pad a little bit more. Obviously, ink cubes are going to need to be re-inked a little bit more often than ink pads. An ink cube holds 1/5 of the amount of ink that an ink pad does. You don't want to re-ink your pad so much that, ink is oozing out the sides. So you just want to make sure that when you're using it, you're not like, if you're inking up a stamp, you're not having to stamp it like 5 or 6 times in order to get a good stamp. Even, two times is probably the most you should have to restamp something, like if you're using a MISTI, and then you should be getting good coverage. If you find that you use your ink blending brushes a lot and you're kind of like rubbing those over top of your ink pads, all of that ink is going into your brushes. So that pulls ink out faster. It does vary depending on the color. Believe it or not, lighter colors tend to need to be re-inked a little more often than darker ones, and things like that. So it is a variable, but you'll kind of know. Like I said, cubes are the most guilty. And when a pad really starts to dry out, even if you haven't used it in a long time, although they have nice tight lids on them, air does get in there and it can dry them out. So you want to make sure that you're hydrating them. It's like your skin, it's like your body, it's like everything. You need to give it moisture in order for it to be good. So, and then there's also ink labels that they've come out in a little expansion pack for your ink pads and ink cubes. These are also great for labeling your cardstock too. So if you have a storage system for your cardstock and you want to put the name of the cardstock onto your packaging, you can do that too. Now in this case, this is just cranberry, but they've got light, medium, and dark cranberry labels for your ink cubes. You could put one on here. I would probably choose the darkest one because that's sort of the color that matches the most, but they can be used for all kinds of things. And even if you have a storage container where you have your ink cubes stored, it's sometimes a nice idea to put a label in the well of the container so that you know where your ink pads go, where when you have a whole bunch out on your desk and then you go, oh gosh, I got to put these all back. Then you know how to keep them in order. So Nellie says, I don't use ink pads very often, so keep them in Ziploc bags. Yep, you can do that. It'll help keep the air out of them. Mine are all displayed on shelves, and I don't use all of them all the time. But I do find, you know, they get used often enough, and obviously I gravitate to certain colors more often, so others might sit longer. So you just want to be checking them, you know, making sure that they've got ink in there and that they're nice and juicy. But anyways, Cranberry products are in stock and ready to go while supplies last. I believe this is something she will have in her library as a permanent thing, at least for now. So we will be able to reorder for sure. Okay. We also got some restock on Better Press sentiments. So we know that our customers love Better Press for sentiments, and also they love the glimmer for sentiments. And Better Press plates work in the glimmer machine for foiling. So we went through their library and pulled out some of our favorite sets and ordered them, and they are now in stock. So if you're looking to expand your Better Press options for sentiments, now is a good time. So here is one called Ideal Moments, and I'm not going to read them all, but this is just a nice variety of sentiments that you get with all of your card making. So even things like Handmade for You, there's one for Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day, Happy Retirement, which is a good one. You've got sympathy, stuff for babies, thank you cards, encouragement, all that kind of stuff. And these plates are done in 2 separate sections. And what this one does is you stamp or foil all of them, and then you use the coordinating die to cut them all out. And this is where you're going to need some sort of storage system so that you can store all those extra sentiments. And I'm going to pull out my latest creation. Oops. It's still in the works. I haven't had a lot of extra time to play around lately, but I did get my little folders labeled, which is good. So I've started a bin like this. And in here, these storage pockets, let me just grab them. We did a giveaway one weekend, and man, oh man, we sparked a lot of interest in these. And then we were able to order them, which was really exciting. So these are the Spellbinders large storage pouches and the large storage tabs. And you can pair these together and you can create something like this, where you have a pouch. And I have the little divider inside the pouch, and this just shows me what's inside here. So these are all get well sentiments. And then I have things like, you know, love and sorry and anniversary, winter, celebrate. And I just pop all the sentiments right in here. And then when I want them, I just take the pouch out, dump them out on my desk. I can root through and see what I want to use. You know, looking for sizing and style and all that sort of stuff. And then when I'm done, I just pop these right back in here and put them back in my little bin. So for me, this is very easy to do, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's also portable, so I'm able to take it to like my friend's house and my friend's house because I don't really go anywhere else. But yeah, like it just makes it so easy. So that's where this style of sentiment kind of requires you to have something like this in place so that you can store the extra sentiments. And I like dividing it up by theme, because then if I'm looking for a birthday sentiment, I just go to my birthday folder. If I'm looking for a thank you sentiment, I just go to that. So it's very, very inexpensive to incorporate, and I love it. So that's what I do. I know a lot of people like to know, how do I do this? How do I do that? But that's what I do. So that's one of them. Now this one here is called Birthday Wishes, and this one has a different style of font. Okay, so that's what that one looks like. And again, these can be used in the Better Press system or in your glimmer machine for foiling. So they're really awesome. And like I said, sentiments are the most popular. Now that one there, again, it's one plate and then one die. So you get all of the sentiments cut out at the same time. And it's kind of nice because I'll be honest with you. When I am crafting, one of the things I hate most is stopping and stamping my sentiment out for my card. I would much rather go to my bin, dump out my birthday sentiments and say, ooh, this one works. This one works. So it's nice to have this, and then you just cut it out in a variety of colors while you've got your foil machine out or your Better Press out. You just do a few different colors, pop them in your folder, and they're ready to go. So it's awesome. What does Shelby says? I didn't see all of these. Well, I didn't either until I got ready for the live, but I do remember ordering them now. This one is called Always and Forever. So again, I'll just kind of give you a little sampling of what this is. And again, it's very generic, things you run into all the time when you are doing your card making. And again, one plate, one die. This system is very popular. People, well, manufacturers tend to be leaning this way, so customers must really like this. So I love that one. And then this one is called A Little Message. I know Christina uses these a lot on her cards, but it's got a nice text and script style to them. And they're not overly large. They're just like a really nice size for cards. But these are all individual. So if you only want one, you can just do one. But that means all the dies are individual as well. So you have to put the die on each one. But there's actually ways that you can cheat with that. So that's that. And then another one that we restocked, which has been very popular too, is the script text. So this is a background. We often have text backgrounds in stamp formation. So you can create some texture on your background. But this is nice because you can stamp it with your BetterPress or you can foil it. So you can get that beautiful foiled effect as well. And then this one here is a favorite. It's one of the earlier releases of the BetterPress products. And we order it a lot because people really like it. So it comes with this one sentiment, says "so happy for you." And then you get all these individual butterflies. They stamp in a pattern. So you get this, this effect right here. You see how they are scattered like that? But you also have the option of cutting each individual butterfly out as well. So that's a good feature. And again, butterflies can be colored and foiled in any color you want, which gives you lots of versatility, which is really fun. Okay, so those are all BetterPress restock items. And then we have some new products from Tim Holtz, his Ideology line. So this is going to be a release that takes place over a full year. And he's coming out with pads like this. They're not really pads. It's individual papers in different color families. I watched his YouTube video when he talked about it, and it actually was inspired from fabric that the Tim Holtz line has released, and they thought it would be really fun to do some of it in paper. So it's nice because they do come out in color families. They are releasing them in, they do come in 8x8 and they come in 12x12. Now we didn't bring in the 12x12 size, but we can. So if anybody's interested in the 12x12 size, just let us know and we can order that in for you. But right now we'll be stocking the 8x8s. And they have all of these different patterns here. So you get 12 papers in the line. And then this release was the orange one, the pink one, and the red one. Okay, so patterns are similar in all of the packs. So I opened up the orange one just so I could show you. And they are double-sided. Now you'll notice that you get repetition in some patterns, but the pattern on the back of this one is different than the pattern on the back of this one. So it gives you the opportunity to maybe use a pattern that you wouldn't normally get to because you have to pick a side. Like, you either have to love this side or you have to love this side. But in this case, you can love this side and this side. So it does give you some options for that. So those are those two. And then this one here, again, the fronts, you get two of the same, but on the reverse, they are not the same. So that's kind of a cool concept. I love that they kind of thought of that. And I love how tiny the patterns are. So great for journals, junk journals, planners, card making, scrapbooking, all that kind of stuff. So again, two of the front and different backs. So that's kind of fun. And here's another one that have two fronts the same, but two backs are different. But there's that mushroom print again. So I think I showed it. Yep. See, so you've got it on this one and you've got it on this one. So it makes choosing a side a little bit easier, I think. So it's those two. And then these two here are the strips and then there are the reverse. So those are the same. And then we have another map with stamps and another one of the florals with the tickets. So I think they're really cool, and I think that they are going to be really popular. We actually had them in once already, but they sold out so fast we didn't even get a chance to show them. So we've reordered the first one. The second round has a green, a yellow, and the neutrals, and those will be coming. I've already ordered them, so they're going to be en route to us shortly. So make sure you pick those up if you like those. And then we're going to talk about the new release from Doodlebug, which is always fun. And it is a bit of a mini release. It is called Lucky Me. So it would be considered their St. Patrick's Day release. But when I show you this, you're going to see that the St. Patrick's Day part is very much downplayed. So it works for lots of different things. So you can get it in a collection pack, which includes 12 double-sided papers and the this and that sticker sheet. So if you want everything, you can grab it in this. So there's that sticker sheet in the back there. Now we do have open stock as well, which I'm going to show you. So here's the sticker sheet that you can buy on its own. Nice, bright, colorful in true Doodlebug fashion. They definitely have a style that they stick to, and it does work very well for them. Their lines always sell very, very well. So we don't even hesitate about bringing them in because customers just love them. This is called Patty's Plaid. Now you'll notice again, there's a couple of icons on here that have the St. Patrick's Day theme, but a lot of them do not. So very versatile, and you can use it for lots and lots of different things. So you've got your tags and your border strips, and then you've got some 4x4 pieces across the top. And then the reverse side of that is a beautiful plaid. And then here is, this one's called Color Me Happy. So again, 3x4 cards. Only one of them has the St. Patrick's Day theme. You've got two larger journal spots here, which can also make great layering pieces for layouts. And then you've got all your paper strips here that you can cut apart and use as sentiments or accents. And then you've got the beautiful stripe on the back. And then this one is called Shamrock Wishes. And again, it's got floral on one side and it's got the shamrocks on the other side. So if you don't want to use the St. Patrick's Day theme, you have the floral to fall back on, which is nice. And then this one is called Rainbow Skies. And everybody needs to have a nice rainbow paper in their stash and a beautiful yellow on the back. And then this one is called My Lucky Charm. There's always one paper in the collection that is named for named the same as the collection. And this has things like rainbows, and it has shamrocks on it, and 3-leaf clovers and 4-leaf clovers. But they could just be, you know, clovers. They don't have to be for St. Patrick's Day. There's little ladybugs and mushrooms and hearts. And then on the reverse, there's the red dot. And then another beautiful floral. This one's called Clover Patch. So again, you do have the clovers in there, but they're subtle, and you know, you find clovers in your grass, so no big deal. And then you've got the dot on the back. So you can see how versatile all the papers are. And if you are not looking for St. Patrick's Day at all, look how that just really, you know, can be very generic. And Doodlebug is really good about making their prints have very tiny icons. So they're really good for card making. They're really good for scrapbooking. It doesn't matter what you're doing with them. They're awesome. So, okay, so that is the papers. And then of course they do have their new 6x8 pad. They used to do 6x6 pads, and now they've come out with 6x8 pads. And again, all of those patterns that you just saw me show in open stock are available in this pad as well. And you do get multiples. So you get 24, and they're all double-sided. So lots of paper selection there. And then all the embellishments. We've got the 6x12 sticker sheet. Oh, Cooper says good morning. Again, there are a few leprechauns on here, but lots of other things that you can use as well. And then you've got the puffy stickers, which are just adorable. So you've got puffy flowers, puffy rainbows, puffy ladybugs, mushrooms, and then that repeats a little bit up here. And then you do have some greetings and things as well. Plus there is a few St. Patrick's Day things that you can use. He's been rather quiet during videos lately. And then they have all the things. So in normal releases from Doodlebug, they have odds and ends, They have Chit Chat. Sometimes they have bits and pieces. With the smaller releases, they put everything in one, and you get a little bit of everything. So there are 143 pieces, but you can see here you get your Chit Chat, which is like your titles and words. You get your odds and ends, which are a lot of your icons. And then there are bits and pieces in there like florals and things like that. So no shortage of ephemera. They're always very generous in their packages. And then there is a die set available. There were 2, but one has sold out already, so I'm not going to show you that one. This is called Bunch of Luck. And again, I love it. It's called Bunch of Luck, and it says good luck on the tag, but you can put whatever you want on the tag. The tag is just a tag. So you can stamp whatever you want, but it's just a really nice floral bouquet. Comes with a nice big bow, lots of flowers and greenery. The packaging kind of shows you how you can put it together, but you can mix and match pieces with other things. But yeah, that's an awesome die cut set. And then of course their doodle pops are always very popular. We've got the interactive shaker one here, and this one is called Lucky Charm. And then we've got our leprechaun called Lucky Leprechaun. We have the slot machine, which is called Good Luck. And then we have the Love You, and it's the bouquet that kind of mimics the floral bouquet here. Isn't that cute? But here you can see that you can just change that word up to anything that you want. And then we have the sprinkles and shapes. So we've got the enamel dots. That's the Lucky Me assortment. We've got Lots of Luck, which are the little shamrocks and clovers. And then we've got Rainbow Bright. And then these adorable ladybugs. This is called Lucky Lady. So you can see that they are dimensional. And you get lots of little ladybugs. So fun. Doodlebug is always so cute and very, very popular. Okay, and then a couple of things. We did restock this. I'm gonna wait on this. I've got a little slideshow because I wanted to show a couple of things. I'm gonna bring this up. They didn't have in my basket. Actually, we can go big. Let's go like this. Okay. So this is when we released our January calendar, we used one of the large die cuts for our page. And this one, oh, you can't see. Oh, I knew I needed it bigger. Okay, let's move you over like this. Okay, so here is our page. It says Winter Memories. And we have a video up on our YouTube channel showing you how to put this together. And our customers really loved it. They were just like, oh my gosh, can we get more things like this? So we went on a little hunt. For now, I can't order much because our distributor doesn't carry very many of them. They probably did carry them, but when they sell out, they just move on. So the next time I order from Doodlebug directly, I'm going to take a look because these are from Bella Boulevard and they are paired together, so I can order from both. And we will look at bringing in more of these. They are so fun and easy to use, but this is the one that we were able to get. I don't know exactly what it's called. Maybe Shelby can help me out, and maybe if I make this bigger, I can see, because I don't have it with me, so I'm not sure what it says. Oh, Documented. So if you go under Bella Boulevard or you search Documented, you'll find this. And there are actually 3 different die cuts in here. So you get the Love This Life, you get Documented, and you get Snapshots. So all 3 of them can be used on your layouts very similarly to the one that we did on our calendar page. So anybody who is looking for extras of things like that, we were able to get this one for now. But we're going to look further when I order next from Doodlebug. And then from Altenew, we did get a few things that have arrived. I did not bring them home, so I thought I would just do a quick slideshow to show you. This is called Timeless Sands, and it is a layering die set, and it creates this sand timer thing. I don't know. What do you call that? That thing that you flip upside down. Does that have a name? I don't know. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Shelby will know. She's going to tell us in a second. An hourglass. That's what it is. So it's a very unique piece. We've not really seen dies like this before. So I thought it was really cool. And then here's a couple card samples just showing you what it can look like if you incorporated into cards. There you can see it nested in with these florals. And I think Kathy Zielski did a video on this, and this is the card that she created, which I thought was really cool as well. Days of Our Lives, yes. But yeah, it's a pretty cool piece. And, you know, it's got that whole time spin on it, which is kind of fun. And then pairing up with that, there is a new embossing folder called Traces of Yesterday. And it does this really cool clock and gear thing, which would go very nicely with the hourglass. But I thought that was really fun. And there's just an example of how, if you're just using the embossing folder and you use an inking technique, you can get that kind of a look. But it just kind of shows you what the embossing folder looks like. And then there is a stencil. I showed you that Script Better Press plate. Script is very popular. So we've seen it in stencils. We've seen it in stamps. And here's another version of it in a stencil called Paper Echoes. And it's just a nice script. And you can stencil the whole background. You can stencil part of a background. You can use it on layouts to stencil in different areas, which is fun. So here you can see it as a backdrop behind this sunflower die. And while we're talking about the sunflower die, here is a new die set. And it is called, I don't even know because I did not put it up here. Shelby, can you help me? It's a really beautiful one. I love that you get the back side of the flower and the front, which is kind of unique. I think it's called Layering Sunflowers, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But isn't that a beautiful card? I love that. So they've used both front views, and you don't always have to use the stem either. You can just use the bud of the flower, which is quite nice. And this is what I was showing you before. We have a restock on this fabulous set. So this one, I'm going to change my screen view here. This one here is, it's called Ugh, because sometimes life is just like that. Oh, Shelby said it is called Layering Sunflowers. Thank you. And she put a link in the comments there. So I love that they came out with a die set like this. And then they have supporting stamps that go with it, which is awesome. So you get the nice big and then you get things like, let's pretend we have our lives together. That's kind of what I feel like right now. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I need this pasted to my forehead. And then because adulting is hard, and it is hard. You have to make big decisions. You have to, you know, do things you don't want to do. And sometimes it's just nice to acknowledge that. I get it. Let's vent and eat carbs. Let's cancel today. Seriously. Life is a lot. So here's a card. Like that is a funny one too. And yet here we are, thriving-ish. Also spells hug backwards. So yes, you can do something with this. I saw it done where they turn this into hug. Oh, I know what. They have the H and then they move the UG over here. So you can use it as a hug die as well. And then send hope or cake and hang in there. So really great sentiments. It's a really fun set, very unique. And you can pair it up with lots of other things that you have. So if you want to add critters or anything like that, you can certainly do that. So it's a lot of fun. And I think I have one more slide showing it with the dumpster fire guy. Yeah. So here's another example of the word used with an icon. So you can definitely have a lot of fun with it. But this whole release has been selling very, very well. We've reordered it multiple times. So yeah, it's very fun. And that's it. Okay. So let's get rid of that slideshow. Remove. And then I do have some inspiration. Oh, one more thing. Well, this kind of goes into the inspiration. So this is a stamp set of a postcard. On Sunday night, I did my Craft and Connect video and I created a card. And that card is right here. Okay. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh. I just took pictures of it this morning, so I'll get it posted over on our inspiration group. And but if you look carefully in the background, I actually used a die that creates a postcard. And then I turned it into a card front. And the die I used is this one here. It's the postcard die from Marianne Design. And we've reordered this in because it's been so popular and I hadn't even done anything with it. So they are selling quickly. So make sure you pick one up if you want. And the video is over on our YouTube channel and you can watch that. And in that video, I mentioned that we had a stamp set coming. So here it is. So if you would like your postcard to be a little more defined, like this one just kind of embosses it in the background, then you can use a stamp set the same way. So this is the stamped version. So it does the outline, it does the lines, which is generally where you put your sentiment, and then you can build a little scene and stuff over here and put your little postage stamp. So it's a really, really fun set, very unique. Haven't seen anything really like this before. So I thought I would bring a few in for people. So that is available for purchase. And then I also on my card, let's bring my card back, used the 18 Karat Friendship stamp and die set from Pink and Main. And that's what creates all these beautiful chicks and bunnies and the eggs and the carrot. And there's a little paint bucket and a paintbrush. And there's a little crate here. So a really fun set that you can color up using your pencil, crayons, markers, whatever you want to do. And there's a matching die set. And then I also used the Farmhouse Wheelbarrow. So that's what I used to create this. Now, we talked a while back about new dies that came in from Pink and Main. We were talking about pop-up cards and how we had the truck, and I just ordered in the strawberry set, and then we ordered in the Easter set. So the Easter set, are these named? Yes. So we have the pop-up card Easter basket, which creates the basket. And it does come with the items to create the eggs and the grass and everything to go in your basket. But there is an add-on, and that's called the bunny tail basket add-on. And that gives you the bunny butt to add into the basket along with your egg background and your butt background. And then you can also do more egg scenes and so on. So I gave this to Amanda, and she created some samples. Are you guys ready? They're so cute. One of the samples also incorporates this stamp set. So that's why I was bringing that to your attention. So let's do that one first. So the basket does not have to be used as a pop-up basket. You can use just the basket front and you can create a card that way. I mean, what? It is just too much. So you've got this adorable basket, and then you've got all the critters. So we've got a chick peeking up, and then we've got one here and one here. This girl, she just looks so happy. And then he is got his paintbrush and bucket, and he's coloring the eggs. But is that not adorable? Oh my gosh. So there's that. And then you can use just the butt on a card as well. So you don't have to use it as a pop-up card, which is very cool. So here is the bunny butt. It looks like he's diving into the grass, and she's got the clouds and the whole scene going on, which is just too much. And then, of course, there is a pop-up option. So I'm going to show you from the top first. So here is your pop-up basket. Okay. It does fold flat for mailing, so it lays completely flat. But there is your 3D pop-up basket, which is just so cute and fun. And then, again, the basket can be used for many things. Baskets are not an Easter thing. They are a generic basic that you can add lots of things to. So I see being able to add pumpkins and all kinds of things. The things that were used in the truck, because there was a pumpkin add-on, can also be used in the basket. 100%. I was just going to say you could probably do a birthday spin, but Shelby says you could put a bottom on it and fill it with mini eggs. Oh yeah, you could. Okay. I thought I saw the word balloon. You could make it so there was critters with balloons coming out of it. There's just so many options. Again, because it's released at Easter time, our brains tend to go, oh, that's an Easter product. Well, it doesn't have to be. And it is a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but when I create something out of something that wasn't intended to be created, there's a whole lot more fulfillment there than when you, like if I was to remake this, I would be really excited because I just think, oh, that's so cute. But if I take these products and I can turn them into something that is not Easter themed, then I'm like, I'm a genius. Like, that's just so great. So play with your products and use them for different things. But I just think it's so fun that you can get such variety using the same products, and you get 3 different looks. So a lot of fun. So that is that product. And then we were just talking about how we are excited how mild it's going to get today, but I'm going to show you a winter product. And there is still snow on the ground. And it's always nice to have something like this in your stash because it creates multiples. And I like that. I find often I'm very short on time to get crafting time in. So when I can be really productive, it's fun. But I also don't want to skip over the enjoyment of the process. So I want to be productive, but I want to have fun. So this is a set that was originally done as a freebie with Tailored Expressions, but they've released it into their regular product library now. So we are able to order it for the store. And it's really fun. They came out with a fall version, love this, and it sold very well. It is kind of like a quad stencil, only in mini format. So you still create 4 panels. And in this case, those are the 4 panels you're going to create. So you've got 2 panels with snowflake clusters. You've got one with a hat and mitts, and you've got one with mitts holding like a mug or something. Yes. So you get to create all 4 of those panels, and then they can be used on cards. So here are some samples of the stenciled out designs used on cards. So again, you can use lots of different things to ground your stenciled pieces. So once they're done, you cut them out. Well, in this case, we cut them out using a circle die that has stitching on it. Isn't that fun? And all it says is warm wishes on there. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but really effective. Now, Amanda, I'm sure the camera's not going to pick it up, but Amanda has done a glitter technique on the back. Amanda, is that like a Wink of Stella pen, or did you splatter it? It kind of looks like splatter, but I'm wondering what you used. It doesn't say inside. So if you could help me, I know you're still on here. I just saw you comment. So, and I know the camera's not picking it up, but I do see shimmer. So I'm wondering what that is, but I'll wait to hear from her. And then here's another one. This one's just using an arch die, and that's the mittens. It's the Imagine Sheer Shimmer Spray. Well, it's very cool. It's kind of got a splatter effect to it, but it's quite nice. I like that. Okay, so this is a panel that's pierced with snowflakes. I believe that's waffle flower. Nope, it's Tailored Expressions. Nope, is it? Snowflake backdrop cover plate. Yes, it is. So that's Tailored Expressions as well. And then again, arches for the mittens with just some sentiment strips in the background there and another sentiment there. And here's the one with the hands holding the little mug with the hearts on top and the marshmallows. So that is fun too. So all 3. Oh, thank you, Shelby. She put the link up for the shimmer spray. But this is 3 of the 4 panels being used in the cards, which is super fun. So again, you get 4 stencils. They layer up, and you just end up with 4 images when you're finished, which is really fun. So that is that. Now, I did want to share the arches are from the Arch Nouveau release. So there are 2 different sizes that you can layer together. And then there's also, if you wanted to, a ridged option. So this just puts stitching around your arches. It doesn't cut anything else out. It just adds those stitching details, which is kind of fun. And then another panel that works really well for this is this All Planned Out 4. They have the scalloped square in there, and that works really well for this size of image as well. So just some products that you can use. And then the sentiments we used for all of the cards are from the Winter Blessings set. And that is what comes in that. So that is that. Okay. Did I get everything? I think so. All right. So we are going to do a giveaway. And we're going to give away these products to one lucky winner. Did she use a micro pen for the border frames? Let me look on those cards again. I buried them already. Here we go. Oh, no, she uses, well, she just uses a black pen. I don't know if it's a micron pen. It's just a black pen. And she just uses her ruler, and she does that. So, yeah, just a fine point black pen is all you need for that. But for our giveaway, we are going to give away an embossing folder, which is exclusive right now. I don't even think you can order it at all right now. from Tailored Expressions. It's the tweed one. And then we're also going to give away their freebie, February freebie of the month, and that is the little hedgehog. So I just put my little hedgehog on my holder here, and that's what he looks like. Isn't he cute? So last month we gave away turtles. This month we're giving away hedgehogs, and I've got him up there on the thing. These will be available to order in the new year, but we're going to give them away as we get them. And we're going to give one of those away. And then we're also going to give away a pack of Gina K's 4 1/4 by 5.5 layering weight white cardstock. So you can create a whole card using these products. Isn't it fun? So that is going to go to one lucky winner. Now, here are the rules. You need to shop with us today. You can buy anything. Okay? You just need to shop with us today. In the comments of your order, you must say that you watched the live, you loved the live, whatever you want to tell me about the live. You need to put that in your comments. If that comment is not there, your entry does not get put in the wheel of names for the draw. And then I will post the winner tomorrow morning on our Facebook page, and then we will add this to your box. Okay, so again, I'll just recap. You have to shop with us today. It can be anything. You need to put a note in your comments of your order saying that you watched the live, you loved the live, blah, blah, whatever. And then it has to be by midnight tonight. Okay, and then we will do the draw tomorrow. So I like to extend it to midnight because that way anybody who is working and can't watch this video now can watch it after work or this evening and still be able to participate. So that's important. And that's all you got to do. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm going to sign out and we will see you again soon.